Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I am Jason. As always, my co-host, Mr. Zack Partridge, in the house.
What up?
What up, dog?
Just got done with a little kickboxing class with my
How was
wife.
that?
Good.
Did you get kicked in the head by your wife?
No. Not because she can't, because she probably can.
You probably need to get kicked in the head.
Doctors would suggest otherwise.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
So we have another fighter spotlight today, and I am going to welcome my coach, who I've been working with for the last few weeks, Mina Uscharawadi.
Yeah, close enough.
Close enough. We'll call it that.
Enough.
Mina, thank you for joining us finally. You got a big fight coming up this Saturday.
Yeah.
Your MMA debut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How you feeling? How you feeling?
I'm actually feeling really good. It's fight week. I feel good. I don't think I've ever gone into a fight week feeling like as good as I feel right now. So I feel good.
So you
what other fights have you done?
So just Muay Thai strictly. So I've had I was in Thailand and I had like fought out there like way back in the day. That was like a whole different journey, but yeah, those are the fights that I've done. So never done MMA before. Okay. But I would say like working in more disciplines and everything, I feel better than I have mentally, emotionally, physically than I ever have before. And so I'm happy about that.
Good.
Yeah.
How long have you been training jiu-jitsu and grappling?
Jiu-jitsu had been like on and off. I would say, I dabbled in it here and there, like back in 2018. I would go to like classes here and there, but I didn't really start getting into it until more consistently until I would say end of 2019. And then I did a tournament and then COVID happened. And so we kind of had to take a step back from that. And then ever since just like consistently going. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you mentioned that you went over to Thailand, and did you have any training prior to going over to Thailand, or what kind of sparked that urge to go do that?
Yeah, so I had like dabbled in boxing for about a year, and it was just honestly like me just trying to take like more ownership of my life. I was really lost and whatnot, and so boxing was something that I'd always just wanted to try, something that I feared, but went there. And then about a year later, the owner of my gym was going out to Thailand to a training camp at Tiger Muay Thai. And I'm half Thai. And so we had talked and I was just super excited. And then he was just invited me out and he's like, hey, do you want to come along? Some of the other coaches were going to go. At that time, I was just a student. I was just like super novice. I'd never even done Muay Thai before at all. But it just felt like the right thing to do. So I went out there for 6 weeks to Tiger. And that's where I started learning Muay Thai. And then about halfway through, I felt like that was where I needed to be. So I quit my job and everything else. And then I moved out there.
Wow.
Yeah. So I just went for it, balls to the walls.
So how many fights did you have there?
While I was out there, I had 6 fights within about like 8 to 9 months of being out there. But I was so beginner. I'd literally out there, they just kind of throw you in the fire. So I barely started sparring. I think they just saw that I was kind of like crazy, They're like, oh, this girl, she's got heart. And so maybe about a month and a half into like being out there is when I had my first fight.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're throwing you into the fire right away.
Yeah,
huh?
Literally. So it's like hard for me. Like I look back at that time, like who I was then and where I'm at now. If I got to go back to Thailand now and I got to fight, my experience, I feel like would be so different. I want to go back. Just even like the things that I could learn technically out there, I was still just trying to like connect with my body and just figure out the basics, the fundamentals, and survive. I was surviving a lot out there.
I know all about the basics and the fundamentals. They're drilled into my head at least 3 times a week, Mina.
Yes, you do. A lot of yelling.
Yes. Hey, I had to have Mina sign a disclosure. She cannot talk about any of our training. Nothing. You cannot make fun of me for being slow and uncoordinated and not know what the hell I'm doing.
No,
Mina, you could just tell me and then I'll tell everybody.
It's just a lot of like, stop doing that. Why are you doing that? Stop it.
Now, Dude, he's doing good though. He came and trained with us, and we rolled and did a little boxing sparring on Saturday.
Good. That's what he said. Good.
Yeah.
Sometimes he needs to get beaten around a little bit to understand why we drill these fundamentals.
We just were talking about that before we went live. I'm like, you know what I needs to have happen? I probably need to have a little bit of a harder spar where I'm actually getting hit and not like, okay, I don't want to get hit. Like,
I know a guy that would do that with you.
Zack.
It's all out of love.
We can amp it up too, Jason.
I know. I get there Friday. Mina's like, we're sparring with me today. I'm like, no.
Let's
You're
go.
not going to tell your coach no. Put your mouthpiece in, bro.
It's a mouthpiece in. I don't have a
We
mouthpiece.
kick
That was
you
my
around
excuse.
a little bit. We'll condition your body.
me and yeah, Brody will help you too. But me and Tanner Hines love each other, but we both try and kill each other when we're sparring hard. It's fine.
Yeah. No, it's fun. And hey, I just have to say, Mina, I've enjoyed us working together like that. Your coaching style it's been perfect for me. So I don't know if there's anybody listening that's thinking about getting into doing this type of training, but there was one thing that kind of caught my attention when we first started.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started with you, you asked me what I wanted out of this training. And to me, that was all I needed to hear. It was like, she's invested in trying to fit the training around what I want. So I appreciate that. And I thank you for all your time. So.
Oh, you're welcome. I guess I just want to give back what I didn't have. I think when I first started, I just had a lot of people that tried to like mold me into what they thought that I should be, or be like, oh, she can fight, so let's just make her whatever they thought that I could be. But they never gave me basics. Also, I was in Thailand, so I mean, I think Muay Thai is martial arts is a language in its own, but still, I didn't have anyone break things down for me. I was just trying to figure it all out. And so whatever I can do to help make that like journey a little bit smoother and give people a stronger foundation just to start with, instead of having to backtrack and like go through all the things that I did and take all the extra damage that I probably shouldn't have had to. Glad to help.
Yeah, that's good coach. Like it's one thing I really love about my coach too, is I came in with like this, I no background, no nothing. And he was just like, okay, if you want to stand like that, like this is what you need to do. He doesn't try and change anybody. He sees what they do. And then it's like, okay, if this is your style, this is what you need to work on. And then this is what you're, with your style, there's openings with every style, right?
Yeah.
And there's counters. And so he's like, so now you just have to be aware of A, B, C, and then this is what you need to do. And that's what good coaches do. So that's awesome. But enough about coaches. What do you know about Melissa Allen?
Honestly, I don't know too much, and I haven't tried to focus too much on her. I do know, from what I do know, she's more of a grappler. I believe she's a jiu-jitsu girl. I think she's only dabbled in striking for maybe a year or so. But then again, that's all like secondhand information. I don't know much. So I think we're coming from opposite worlds, though. I think she's a grappler. I'm a striker. Okay,
so then the question is, so what's more dominant, her grappling or your striking?
Oh, of course I have to go in there and say that my strike.
Perfect. That's all. I just had to ask.
Hey, I seen the videos of you grappling in that tournament, and don't sell yourself short on that. I watched those videos.
Yeah, even with just my introductory grappling back in the day. This is what I do know about myself. What I drill, I can perform. So I know how to train, I know how to drill, and I know how to perform. And I take confidence in that. I'm not going to say that I'm the best at anything, right? I think that would be that's stupid. Like, I know that I have weaknesses, but I think I understand what that is, and I understand where my strengths are. And like I said, I know that what I drill, I can perform. And so I intend to go out there, and that's the performance I intend to put on is just perform what I've practiced.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Good.
Pretty confident with that. I believe you.
So, Mina, how long has your camp been for this fight?
Man, I found out about this about 8 weeks ago. So I had already kind of started getting my mind in there. And then 6 weeks is when I really started picking it up. Yeah.
Nice. What specific, your first MMA fight, So what do you think about, like, do you get, how do I word this? Does it enter your head at all that like there could be like UFC fighters and stuff there watching?
I mean, that I've heard that there's the potential, that's a potential thing that could happen. At this point though, it's like, that's irrelevant. Like, they're not getting in the cage with me. They're not about to get their face beat in. So the only thing that really matters is that I go in there.
Hopefully neither are you, but
that's true. Good point, Zack. But it's like more than anything, actually, I feel like that'd just be cool. Hey, if that happens and there are people there and they get to partake in the experience too, like, I just hope to put on a good performance. This whole camp has been one more than physical, but very like mental for me, and it's really just given me an opportunity to work on things within myself, especially on a mental level, and to grow and elevate my, I think, just to elevate my my mental game, and just in general, not even just in fighting in general, but just overall. I feel like everything we do in the gym and what we do in martial arts completely transcends into our everyday lives. And I feel like what this training camp has done is revealed like weaknesses within my own mindset that I needed to really like focus on and fix. And for that, more than anything, I'm grateful. I've just been kind of in a place where I was stuck a little bit, and I recognized that beforehand, and I didn't realize that taking on this fight and the training that I would have to go through would put me in positions where it would reveal what those holes were within my own mind and give me an opportunity just to like face my fears and to work through things. And I guess that's why I'm so excited for this fight, because I feel like I'm finally in a place where I'm ready to just like leave like the baggage behind and like go forward and perform and just face things head on. Yeah.
That's a good mindset.
Yeah, great mindset. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Zack.
I was just gonna say, not looking past this fight. So what are your plans? Is your plans to be like actively start fighting?
Yeah, this is like really just lit a fire in me. And if I would love to go on, it's crazy. So I'm 32. I'm not young. I look young. Yeah, I've been blessed with those Asian. But
32 is young.
But I've always wanted, like, fighting is what I love to do. And I think even that's something that I've had to come to terms with and accept within myself and be like, you know what, this is what I want to do. I've already sacrificed so much to be here. Mm-hmm. I feel like now more than ever, I am like at my like physical, mental, emotional like peak. And so I want to see how far I can go. I think this is just a great way to get started. And my plan is to continue. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'm 32 too, so that's why I said it's not that old.
Good. Yeah, no, I think we're at our peak. Yeah.
I feel old when I wake up.
Hey. I'm at my peak.
Yes, you are. You are, Jason.
I just feel a little sore when I wake up in the morning. That's all.
I do too.
I feel ya.
So how can people, do you know if they're going to have a link to be able to watch the fights? Because it's in Logan, and I know for some people it might be a drive to get up there. Do you know if Juan's going to have a link for that?
Shoot, you know what? I'm actually not sure. I want to believe that there will be one.
I think he usually does, but I wasn't 100% sure on that. And I'm, yeah.
Yeah, I need to look into that. I'll have to ask him. I'll have to reach out to him and ask, but I want to say yes.
And do you have any sponsors you want to give a shout out to before we let you get out of here?
I do. Actually, a quick shout out to North South Fight Gear. I'm actually wearing one of their rash guards. They actually put my whole fight kit together, and they've been amazing. I feel like a warrior when I put that on. They just been so great to work with. Also, they make quality things. And so just for anybody, especially like in the jiu-jitsu world, and females especially, but of course like males as well, just go check them out. North South Fight Gear. You can find them on Instagram. And then also just my gym, Wasatch Combat Sports, just everyone that I've been able to train with, Damage Plan as well. You guys, just in general, I'm just really grateful to have met you. And just for the support that you've offered me and allowing me on your podcast. And then just family and friends. It's actually been like a miracle, just the way that so many people have come together and have just been really supportive I don't know. I just never expect any, to be honest. I have no expectations of people. But for people to just want to be a part of the journey and to want to even come and support. I even had Nick Birch Electric just reach out, and they also wanted to sponsor. Just
Nice.
I don't know who's there. It's a guy from my gym who's also just trains. I teach him at 6 a.m. in the morning, and I've just been blown away by the kindness and the generosity of just the people around me. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to watching you fight next Saturday. I will be there cheering you on. So
thank you.
Look forward to it. Thanks again for joining us.
Okay. Thank you guys.
See you Saturday.
See ya.
We out.